In this episode, Adam rides solo and discusses the review copies of the PS5, what Sony is doing with PSVR, the first third-party accessory for the PS5, and he has a big, hard package. A digital package. All on episode 10 of Play PS5, the podcast. Welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight, and it's a special episode of Play PS5 the podcast because it is an Adam special. Most of the time I have Alex with his garbage opinions bringing me down, but it's just you, and it's me, and it's your auntie. That's it for tonight, for this episode, so I'm excited. It's not very often we get to kind of just ramble on our own, but tonight's one of those nights, baby. I am pumped. I'm not going to let this episode get too long. I know listening to a single voice for a long time isn't as enjoyable, so I'm going to give you the recent news centered around the PlayStation 5, give you my opinion, and then kind of just cover some in general info before I tap your bum and send you on your way. First thing, as usual, I'm not going to break tradition, gamer juice. So it's a celebratory night. I'm by myself. I get to rant how I want to rant. I get to talk what I want to talk about. It's going to be wonderful, and I have bullet bourbon to celebrate. I do have some ice in my cup, so if you hear some sloshing around, that's what that is. Oh gosh. It's tough to take, but it's good stuff, folks. It is actually my favorite bourbon. Absolutely fantastic for eggnog. If you make your own eggnog or you just want to spike some eggnog, seriously, you cannot do better than Bullet Bourbon. It has a spice and a kick to it that most bourbon doesn't have, and for something like spiking eggnog or another type of drink, it's perfect, and it's great all on its own as well. So Bullet Bourbon is this night's gamer juice of choice. First thing I want to talk about right here, right now, is that the media this week have just recently gotten their copies of the PlayStation 5. And so part of me, obviously, Alex and I, neither of us were not big enough to have already gotten a PS5 yet for review purposes. But part of me really, I want to stay as far away from it as possible. I obviously am super hyped for this console. I cannot wait to get my PlayStation 5, as much of you are as well. But I'm not going to lie. Seeing the box, seeing people open and play with the DualSense, it lowers my excitement value. Because in my mind, there is this console that I've just been waiting for months for. I paid a lot of money for it. I fought to get it pre-ordered. And right now, it is a mystery to me. I don't know how much the box weighs. I don't exactly know what the box looks like. There's so much mystery shrouded around that. And I know it's going to be wonderful, and I can't wait for it. But by slowly seeing, okay, now they know that the box weighs 14.7 pounds, and I'm seeing boxes everywhere, and soon they're going to be playing with the DualSense, and soon there's going to be gameplay and people actually playing it. I know what to expect after seeing it, and for me, that lowers the hype value. And that's unfortunate. That may just be me. For you, a consumer, maybe you actually want those details, so you may know, okay, the DualSense isn't as big of a deal as they're letting on, or the games aren't as good as they thought, whatever. But for me, like I said, it's not a good situation for me because I want to be kind of surprised. I didn't know how much the box, I didn't know how big the box would be. I was excited to sit there at GameStop with my pre-order in hand and couldn't wait for them to bring them out the back. And now that's ruined because I know what the box looks like. I know it's going to be like 15 pounds. Little things, but I want to stay as far away from that stuff as possible, which is going to be tough to cover it on a podcast, but also kind of stay away from some of that information just because I want the best experience possible. We get a new console, every 10 years, 7 to 10 years, and we spend a lot of money on it. I want the best scenario possible, and I want to be surprised, and I want to love on it hard. So just so you know, if you're like me, you really gotta watch what you see, because review copies, they are out, and we're about ready probably to get bombarded with a bunch of articles and videos and all that stuff. Next topic, which kind of hurts me, hurts my heart, hurts my soul, is that Resident Evil 8, we have gotten some more information, and this is pertaining to the PlayStation Virtual Reality. So Resident Evil 8 as a standalone game, flat, whatever, the game itself is going to be awesome. It always is. I have no doubt about that. But as a PSVR fan, I was really looking forward to Resident Evil 8 being in VR because, one, Resident Evil 7, debatedly, and you could make a very serious case that it is the best virtual reality game in the entire PlayStation Virtual Reality collection. It is so incredible. They nailed everything about the game. The anticipation, the suspense, the scare, the way it looks. I mean, obviously, it's limitations with the graphics, but the way it controls, everything about it is incredible, and I could not wait. I mean, it was like a flagship game for PlayStation Virtual Reality, and it was a hit. Everyone who played it loved it. So I was like, surely, a lot of us thought Resident Evil 8 would also probably have that. Capcom backed Resident Evil 7. They had demos. I mean, even the demo on the demo, or not on the demo disc. They did have one on the demo disc, but the demo for PlayStation Virtual Reality was the best demo. That demo is so good. It's better than probably 40% of the games in the collection of PlayStation VR games. It is incredible. Unlike anything I'd ever seen. So I was really excited for 8, but there's some clues that we may not get virtual reality. And so now on the PlayStation Store, you can order and pre-order PlayStation 5 games. And of course, to do that, they give you a little descriptors and a little more information about the game. And for example, when you look at Hitman, we know Hitman 3 is a PlayStation Virtual Reality game, and there are descriptors that go further in depth about, hey, this may cause sickness, you need to be sure you have virtual reality for this. There are a lot of descriptors talking about what you need to be prepared for because the game can be played in virtual reality. Well, Resident Evil 8, the pre-order page for that says nothing about it. There is nothing about virtual reality. There is nothing about needing different types of equipment. There are some pretty big hints that there is no association with virtual reality whatsoever, where games like Hitman that are also far away-ish aren't. So that is a little disappointing to me because I was really hoping Resident Evil 8 would be. Now, granted, that's a far ways away. Resident Evil 8, I don't remember the release date on it, but it's not like it's coming up soon. So they still have time to update the description. This is complete speculation, of course. I really hope I'm wrong and that others are wrong when they notice this. But I mean, in the front right here, it's not looking great for Resident Evil 8 and virtual reality. I can put it that way. Another thing is the Virtual Reality 365, that YouTube channel. Definitely check him out. He's absolutely incredible. That channel is awesome. If you're interested in virtual reality, that is a must subscribe. He is absolutely incredible. Does a show almost every day and covers all types of virtual reality. But on Twitter, he was talking about how he was very disappointed in Sony not supporting PSVR whatsoever, and he's actually getting quite angry about it. And he was concerned. In 7 months or a long time, he was saying there's like 9 PSVR titles, something like that. Like very little support. We obviously haven't learned anything about PSVR 2. We know very little about how PSVR, the first version, is going to work with PlayStation 5. We know it will. We don't know anything about the adapter or how to get the adapter. So there's just a lot of mystery in PSVR with the PS5 and the future of it, which for those of us who love virtual reality, it's heartbreaking. We want to know, we feel like it really is the technology of the future and gaming of the future. And so why isn't Sony, taking advantage of this? But here's the thing for me. I see why he's upset. And, you have the Quest and you have all these others that are doing exceedingly well. New games are being pumped out. I mean, look, even at Beat Saber. I don't know this for certain, but I know all of the major VR, PC VRs and all that stuff, Beat Saber's multiplayer. PSVR is not multiplayer. Not only that, but they said you're not going to get it till at least January. And so it looks like PSVR, even on little things like that, is always trailing. And it does suck because I feel like it is integrated into the console exceedingly well. Some of the games are very good. It definitely has potential. They slim down the headset, they take the cord off, and you have a incredible virtual reality experience. And you have some of the best games you can play in virtual reality regardless of what headset you have. But he's angry. I'm not angry. I'm not concerned, and here's why. One, we know Hitman 3 is in VR, so we know there are VR titles. It's not like we have no idea if there's going to be any VR games. Maybe they're completely dropping it off the face of the planet and not interested in it at all. That is not the case. Granted, Resident Evil 8, if that's not, that is going to hurt because that was a game in Resident Evil 7 that we could hang our hat on and be like, listen, you can't play this anywhere else. And it is a top 5, regardless probably of where you're playing, top 5 game. Is incredible. But right now, if you're Sony, and the reason I'm not concerned is that you have to focus on the PlayStation 5. You cannot focus on PSVR. I mean, just think about it from a business point of view. You have, I don't know, millions, probably not billions, maybe billions, I don't know. We'll just say billions for the sake of argument. You have billions of people interested in gaming and gaming on your console, the PS5. And PSVR has millions of people, but that's it. Why would you spend all this time, all the marketing, everything talking about PSVR, which granted, although I love it, it is soon to be in November, older gen technology. Why would you push that? Why would you tell developers make games for this? Why would you market that when it is last gen and you have this new system coming that is next gen, that is huge, that will serve billions of people and is directly competing with Xbox? It doesn't make any sense to focus on PSVR and try to pump out PSVR content right now. Even if you think about it from a consumer point of view, as someone who is interested in Sony and PlayStation and wants both of these things, if the PS5 fails or doesn't do well or sucks, then there isn't even going to be a chance for PSVR to do well, because then Sony will be reeling and have to do what they can to make up the lost gains and just try to mend what the PS5 failed on. So I would much rather have them focus on the PS5 right now. Focus all the marketing, focus all the R&D, focus all the technology on PS5, kill it during launch, and then after 6 months, ton of people have PS5s. They've decided, okay, PS5's the next console to own, and then they can start shifting their focus on things like PSVR. And at that point, people will know how to better use the DualSense, and then they'll, I don't know, maybe we'll use the camera. Who knows what technology is coming. But that is why I'm not concerned. It's not like we're going to have the PS4 for another year and then they just quit pumping out VR games. That's not the case. Everyone, even the developers, everyone's focused on PS5 and Series X. You got to learn how to develop for the next gen. Even last week, talking to Snake Takes, they were saying, it's different. Sometimes you got to learn a whole new language or completely create a game again from the ground up to utilize some of the features for this next gen. And so, yeah, of course, they're going to be focused on PS5 and the Series X. So that's why I'm not concerned. If you're a VR fan, I think it's too early to start jumping ship and start calling for people's heads and waving the white flag and trying to burn things. That's my point of view. I feel pretty good about it. So I'm not worried about VR. Another thing I found interesting, a new topic here, is that there is a company in Europe called PlayStation, and they are creating side panels for the PlayStation 5. So this is from my knowledge, the first third-party accessory for the PlayStation 5 that, again, I know of. So the panels come in red, matte black, chrome, blue, and camo. I will admit, their marketing makes them look very good. They look very sleek. I was very interested in the chrome, although I feel like the matte black would look cooler, just having all black PlayStation. So I'm only seeing pictures. The pictures look very good. They say that, 5 weeks ago, Sony put out the dimensions of the PS5 and the panels and all that stuff, and so they used that to create these panels. But they came out of nowhere, honestly. I feel like so no one has them yet. They're going to be shipped and delivered starting on the 12th. So I guess it makes sense. Why have the panels if you can't have the PS5? But so no one has seen them on a PS5. No one has had them in their hands. There's no YouTube videos of it working. There's essentially nothing. And they are charging $39.99, which, to be honest, that seems pretty friggin' steep. Now, I haven't touched them. I don't know if they're metal. I'm assuming they're just plastic with some shiny paint on the outside that makes it look chrome. That's a lot of money. $40 freaking dollars for plastic panels to go on your system. And this one, I forgot, Alex and I did talk about this, and I forgot what we said, what we guessed that the number would be. But, this is exactly what Sony wanted, because you could sell those. It costs, $5 to make a set of panels for, it's so cheap. They're just killing it in the profit region. And that's what Sony wanted. They probably wanted someone to come out, charge something like freaking $40, and now Sony can charge even more. They could probably charge 50 or 60 and say, hey, we're the developers of the PS5. We guarantee you that they're going to fit. And here's even more customizations and different colors and things, and people will feel better buying from Sony than a random company from Europe. And it's a perfect move for Sony, but for the consumer, that sucks. $40? Are you freaking kidding me? That's ludicrous for freaking side panels. So I'm gonna see if we can get a review copy, because I'm a cheap SOB. But I might do it once, maybe once, and then that's the panel until the system dies. That just is steep. You're not going to have multiples of those, and that's even just a color. Once you start getting into the trademarking of NFL teams or sports teams, or maybe different licenses and, different game characters, things of that nature, well, then you add a trademark on top of there, and now we're probably talking, $60 or more. Really, it's going to be nuts. I can't believe. Now, granted, for them as a small company, of course, you're the first ones to come out with this, so try to milk it for all of it's worth. I understand it just sucks. So if they would have come out and been like, hey, the panels are $20, well, Sony's screwed. They can't charge $50 when someone's selling them for $20, but instead, both of them are going to price gouge us, and now there's really no hope, because PowerA, they're going to price gouge us. All of these big companies now, that this is the president of the price, they're gonna price gouge us. It's gonna be a lot of money, and we are screwed. So if you want some customized panels, I'm gonna say that $40 is as cheap as you're gonna get them. And so just prepare for that. Just add it onto the PS5 bill. Who knows? So the accessories we kind of talked about already last week, I believe. Accessories are coming early. I would love to get mine from GameStop early. That way I could charge my DualSense controller, the extra one I have. I can just unbox the camera and have it ready. And then I'll have the charger ready for, whenever the system gets here. I don't think that's going to be possible for me in GameStop, but if you pre-ordered it via Sony or somewhere else, it's an option. Maybe check it out, because I do think it wouldn't save you a ton of time, but I'm not going to lie. When I get my system, I'm going to want to plug it in and play as soon as possible, and if that DualSense in the box doesn't come charged, which I could definitely see it not coming charged, well, guess what? Fan-freaking-tastic. I got to sit there for 30 friggin' minutes while the thing charges or more, and it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Okay, I can't play the PS5. It's going to take an hour to actually get it up and play. But still, I don't want that. I just spent, $600 on this mother effer. So let me play the game. I'm pumped. I'm excited, but whatever. Finally, the last thing I want to talk about, I'm real excited. I cannot believe this. So I made a big deal about the Burger King thing because I thought it was just kind of fun. I hadn't eaten Burger King in forever. It gives us something to talk about and something to do. In the off chance you want a PS5, I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I was like, okay, whatever. But I did have hope in the beginning that I would win something. And so I started playing, and then I realized, I came to earth really quick and realized, oh, I'm probably not going to win anything, because I started eating every day, and we found a way that if you order on the app on your phone, you make an order, you get a token to play, and then when you pick that order up, you can put the receipt information in and get another token. So you can actually play multiple times a day, even though the rules say you can't, but we did, and Alex and I both, there for a while, I didn't win jack crap. I actually convinced two of my friends to also do it. They don't have PlayStation 5s. They didn't pre-order them. But I was just like, dude, just do me a favor. Just play. And they're doing it. I'm giving them my receipt information. They're putting in the same receipt. And really, it seemed like you won one thing out of every 12 attempts. And that one thing is like, oh, you won like free fries or a free drink or at best a free croissant. And so after the first week or so, I was like, oh man, I'm actually not going to freaking win anything. But lo and behold, baby, 2 nights ago, I'm sitting there, I'm plugging in my receipt, boom, I won a free digital copy of Demon's Soul, which is awesome because, one, it is a game that I definitely was not going to buy. To be honest, I'm not even sure. I may either give it away, sell it, or give it to Alex, because Demon's Souls is the last thing that I'm interested in playing. I don't like those difficult games. I've heard it's somewhat like Bloodborne. I've watched some gameplay. I've talked to friends who have played it, and everything is screaming, I'm going to despise this game. And I like a very set type of games, and it is solely right in the center of the type of game I don't like, and I don't think there's any wiggle room there. Regardless, I am pumped that I won a game, because if you remember, digitally, if you win that PS Now subscription, you can't win any other games or prizes other than the PS5, which, let's be honest, no one here is going to win a PS5. The odds are ludicrously low, I'm sure. But the game, I was like, awesome. That's like pretty much I don't know, spent $25 on BK. I got a $70 game. That's pretty sweet. Now, here's what I'm really hoping. So I used another email because you can only have one digital prize. Again, BK's app is so jacked up, who knows? But supposedly, according to the rules, you can only win one prize. So I made another account with another email, and Alex is still playing. So if one of us happens to win Sackboy, that's really the game I wanted. Because Sackboy is a game I think I would like, but I'm really hesitant to pull $70 or $60 on it because it looks like Astrobot, which makes me really interested in it, but then I don't know anything about Little Big Planet. I don't know anything about Sackboy. It looks like it could be a gimmick. I could see me not liking it, but I could also see really liking it because of Astrobot. I didn't think I would like Astrobot, yet I did. So I'm torn there. I'm hoping one of us wins Sackboy, so then either I give him Sackboy, or I give him Demon's Souls, he gives me Sackboy, or I guess in my second account, if I win Sackboy, then I would either just give Demon's Soul to Alex, or I'm going to give it away on the podcast as like a, hey, we exist, follow us or something. Anyhow, so I'm pumped. BK paid out, baby. The king hooked me up. Regardless, it's a fantastic, I never win jack crap. All this type of stuff, this promo garbage, I never win. Even like the few things I've done that are like local promos on radios and crap that you're like, oh, I'm competing against like 3 other people. I never win any of that. So to win this is I'm pretty psyched. And I mean, I'm pretty proud of myself. So what I would love you to do right now, I want you to go to contact@playps5podcast.com or Twitter @PS5 PlayPS5pod. I want you to tell me how proud you are of me for winning Demon Souls, because I want to be showered with your love and your affection. And while you're there, if you would subscribe and review our podcast, I would also greatly appreciate it. We're new. We're trying to be up and comers. We love the PS5. We are going to continue strong pretty soon. We've already had developer interviews. We're going to have more fans on here. We're going to start the game reviews. I mean, crap is going to get real in this house on November 12th when we actually have a system to talk about and to play. All this stuff, these 10 episodes were before the thing even launched. And so that's awesome. And I'm just excited for it. So stay in touch. If anyone wants to join the podcast, talk about your expectations, let us know. Email us, tweet us. We want to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening to this Adam's Hot Takes of episode 10 for Play PS5 podcast. Again, stay in touch. We love you. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but next week, Alex will be back. But enjoy this sweet, sweet voice while not being interrupted by Alex's buffoonery until next week. Thanks, folks. Talk to you later.